okay? So as we're discussing how organisms respond to stimuli, there are some words we need to make sure we understand here. We want to make sure we understand that because we are living things, we show behaviors that respond to changes that happen around us. We need to know that there are changes that happen on the outside of us, like temperature, seasons changing, and then there are temperatures that happen, or there are changes that happen inside of us, like hunger, thirst, or drowsiness. So it's extremely important that we understand that our bodies naturally respond to changes. We're also going to dig a little bit deeper and talk about how plants respond to changes, how animals respond to changes. You're going to see this word that Miss Neville's going to use often, stimulus. Now, don't turn your mic on, but try to say that word for me, stimulus. Yeah, a stimulus is a scientific word for change. A stimulus is a change, okay? So you talk back to your mom, that was the stimulus, that was a change. The response is you're punished for it. I know how I would have been punished for it, but you may be punished differently. So the stimulus is the change, what happens that's new. So stimulus with US, that's singular. That's just one change. We want to make sure we have this in our notes so we know the difference between these words. A stimulus is singular. Stimuli with an I means more than one change, many changes. This is the plural form. So as we're discussing how things change, it's important for us to understand that all living things change based on what's happening around them. Please take some time to finish writing this down. Miss Neville's going to go on in a second. In the event that Miss Neville goes too fast, remember I am recording this lesson, so you should be able to watch it and get the notes that you need, or rewind it to hear Miss Neville explain something again. So let's draw in our notes a cause and effect chart. You may want to draw, you're going to be copying this one, but you may, when you make a cause and effect chart, you can just make a simple T chart like this. We're going to write the word cause on one side and effect on the other, just like you see here with Miss Neville's example. Beside the word cause, you also want to write the word stimulus. Yes, a cause and a stimulus are the same thing. They're a change, okay? So the cause in this picture, you don't have to draw the picture, you can just write what I write here. The cause in this picture is the boy's stomach rumbles from hunger. So that's the cause. Because of that, because that cause, that's the stimulus, his stomach is grumbling, his body is telling him, feed me. So the effect or the response, we want to write both of those words on the right side of our chart. The response is the boy finds food. It's important for us to understand that the stimulus is step one, and how we respond, our effect, is step two. Take some time, please, to finish working on this chart. Miss Neville's going on in 2 minutes.
Miss Neville.
Hey, Emma. Yes, ma'am.
Do we have to draw the picture?
No, ma'am, you can just write the words that I put there at the bottom.
Okay.
Take another minute to finish your notes. So as we continue, we need to understand that there are two types of stimuli. Yes, there are two types of stimuli. Let's use purple this time. Okay. So there are internal stimuli or changes. Remember that word stimuli means changes. And there are external stimuli. An internal stimuli happens inside of our body. An internal stimuli happens inside the body. Some examples of internal stimuli would be hunger, thirst, drowsiness or sleepiness, hunger, thirst, drowsiness, sleepiness, pain. When our body is in pain, it's trying to tell us, get some help, make me feel better. Or fear. Fear is also an internal stimulus. That basically tells us, that's our body's way of telling us, get away from this or get away from that person, okay? An external stimulus, that happens outside of our body. And that's the next type of stimulus example that we'll be talking about in our lesson today. An external stimulus happens outside the body. And some examples of an external stimulus would be temperature change, whether it gets really cold or really hot, a temperature change. Light or dark, the amount of light or dark. That word is exposure to light, especially for plants. Touch, heat. Well, I don't want to say heat because touch, that makes it redundant. Yeah, so these are some examples of external outside changes that would cause a living thing or organism to respond. Take some time to finish this. We're going on at 8:30. So as we move on here, let's draw our next cause and effect table. Remember, you can draw it just as a T-chart. Remember, not only are we writing the word cause, but we're writing the word stimulus. They're the same thing. And effect. We're writing the word response. We also want to remember that the cause happens first, the effect happens second. So remember, you don't have to draw the picture here, but you do need to write the words. Bears hibernating. That's what happens. Someone turn on your mic and let me know what would be the cause for that. What would happen externally outside to let the bear know it's time to hibernate?
When winter comes.
When temperature change.
Very good. Temperature change. You can go ahead and turn your mic off. Look at the word Miss Neville's using. Temperature decreases. Please turn your mic off. The temperature decreases, or, well, I want to say and. The season changes. So for your graded assignment tomorrow, you're going to be completing cause and effect charts where you write in what causes the bear to what causes organisms to respond differently. You'll be completing that cause and effect chart. So that's why we're practicing with it today during our live lesson. So seasonal changes or temperature decreases, okay? This is what causes that bear to hibernate. We're going on at 8:35.
Miss Neville,
Hey, Emma.
do we have to draw the picture?
No, ma'am. All you have to do is write the words. So let's keep it moving. Remember, if Miss Neville's going too fast for you, this lesson is being recorded. So our last cause and effect table that we're going to be making here, it is the same thing, but I want us to make sure we're thinking about how organisms respond to stimuli, okay? So we want to draw our last cause and effect table today. Remember, it could just be a simple T-chart. Beside the word cause, we're writing stimulus. And beside the word effect, we're writing the word response. This is our second step, our first step. So when we're talking here about birds migrating, could someone please let us know, turn your mic on, what causes birds to migrate? Seasonal changes. And that's the main reason. Remember, go ahead and turn your mic off, please. When the seasons change, that makes food less readily available for birds. And so they have to move to places where food is more available. So the real reason to why certain birds migrate, is because of the seasons changing. Take some time to finish this chart. This is our last bit of notes. Ms. Neville's going to go on at 8:40. Okay, so let's finish up today by making sure we understand some important words. We want to make sure we understand that a stimulus is a change. And stimuli, changes can happen inside of our body, those are called internal stimuli, or outside of our body, those are called external stimuli. Remember, the notes and this recorded lesson are going to be available in your new blue folder as soon as our class concludes today. You also want to make sure you begin on your first graded assignment about reproduction, and that's going to be found in your blue folder too, beside a teal, greenish, bluish puzzle piece. Okay? Are there any questions